Check out the latest highlights from the Nourishing You podcast.
Do you mind sharing like different ways that you can meditate for our audience? Because I think there's a misconception that meditation has to be done in a very traditional way, which can be off-putting to some people. But can you explain some different types of meditation and like how much time a day somebody needs to commit to it to see some benefit?
Yeah, it's a really important thing. And I really want to make sure in this episode, we're really delineating, like the word meditation can sometimes have like a secular, meaning to it. And let's just take this out. Like there's definitely ways you can do this from a spiritual perspective, and it can contain that. But it does not have to contain that. And there's many ways to meditate that are just purely about working on your sympathetic nervous system, working on the controlling of your thoughts and sending the healing signals. So it does not have to relate to any sort of religion or spiritual practice. It can, but it doesn't have to. So I want to make sure that's really clear for everybody. And we can do meditation as simple as by doing breath work. It doesn't have to be anything that's super, say, out of the realm of oftentimes what we think of in other healthy areas. We know breath work is super beneficial. There's a lot of research on breath work, and breath work is a form of meditation. We are focusing on our breath and only our breath. And so one of the breath works that I personally love, like probably my favorite one ever, actually is something that used to be used and maybe even still is by the Navy SEALs for training. And it's box breathing. And box breathing is really simple. You just breathe in for a count. So say you would breathe in for a count of 3. You would hold for a count of 3. You would breathe out for a count of 3. And then you would hold for a count of 3. And then you would do that 4. And then you would do the cycle of 5. And you would just continue up until your holds got to about the maximum amount where you felt like you could hold, and stretch your lungs, but still be fine. And then typically you would walk back down the ladder. So if you got to 13, then you would go around to 12, around 11, and back down. So that's one of my favorite styles of breathing. There's also things like Buteyko breathing and Wim Hof breathing that we do teach. Some of my staff are trained in these sorts of techniques. And so we do teach our clients those types of breathing patterns as well. But breath work is a great form of meditation. There's definitely guided meditations. UCLA has some great resources. So if you just type in like UCLA free meditations, they have a page of really great resources of things that are just like a 2-minute meditation all the way up to, I can't remember their longest, but it's substantially longer. And so sometimes, people do well with guided meditations, and that can be a wide variety of things. An example of guided meditation is like something called progressive relaxation. Progressive relaxation looks like where you're just relaxing your head, relaxing your neck, relaxing your shoulders, and really moving yourself down to your body. And with any of these techniques, what we're really doing is focusing the mind. And so what will happen for most people is at some point, you'll notice that your mind will likely go and think about kids or work or your list or whatever. And you'll notice like, where am I in my count? Am I on 6? Am I on 7? And have I relaxed my shoulders? Where am I? But it doesn't matter. You just kind of pick up somewhere and just keep going. It's not really about remembering where you are. We can get lost in that unimportant detail. Again, it's just about remembering and coming back. So those are all different, different types of meditation. There's visualization types of meditation where we're actually visualizing our future, these sorts of things. There's various types of meditation where we're actually breathing in the pain of the world. And that sounds kind of intense, right? But the idea in meditation like that, we breathe in the pain of the world. We're actually in our body and with our mind, imagining that we're transforming that pain, and we're breathing out and imagining love going to the world and healing. And of course, with the current state of society right now, that's a really great, great, powerful meditation to be doing. There's transcendental meditation. So there's a lot of different styles of meditation. There's a lot of different styles of mindfulness. The number one thing that I like people to know is like, these are all largely different paths to the same point. And so what I tell our clients is like true. I feel like what I would tell anybody is, we're trained in some at our practice, and those are the ones we teach, but it's not about this one versus that one. It's more about finding something that works for you, that you resonate with, that's something that you're enjoying enough where you can commit to. And that's what I would stick to. It's not that this one is better than that one. It's whatever one you resonate with the most is the one that is, for you. And in answer to your time question, frequency is better than length, meaning like it would be way better to do a little bit every day than to do, say, a very long one once a week. And so anything is better than nothing. If you have 2 minutes to commit a day, don't think you can't get value. You can. But I would rather have somebody commit to 2 minutes every day and have success with it than commit to even 15 minutes every day and not be successful. Mm-hmm. So I would really think about this as, what is that minimum amount that you're having the worst day ever? Everything's going wrong. What is the minimum amount on your worst day ever that you can do? And if it's 45 seconds, I would encourage you to commit to 45 seconds every day, because you're not going to lose then. And the more repetition that you give your brain that says, I did this on a really hard day, that's going to kick on dopamine receptors, the pleasure reward receptors in your brain that are going to say, wow, I did this on a really hard day. All right, I can do it again tomorrow.
If you enjoyed this short episode, check out our full library on our NAMP YouTube channel, where you can catch up or learn more. Keep in mind that the information on the NAMP podcast is for educational purposes only and should not be considered medical or legal advice. The NAMP is not liable or responsible for any harm, damage, or illness arising from the use of the information contained herein. By listening to the information on this podcast, you agree to defend, indemnify, and hold harmless the NAMP and all agents. Copyright NAMP, all rights reserved.